There's a lot of talk about working from our strengths, and I completely agree with that. But did you know that you have a dark side? And that dark side, not the evil Darth Vader kind, but you have a dark side, which, when you identify what it is, can be used as fuel to make your superpower shine that much more brightly, to make your strengths that much stronger. When I read this book, actually, it's from this book called Winning from Tim S. Grover, which is Michael Jordan's coach. He wrote a book called Relentless, and I thought it was a bit of a blowhard. Then I read this one and I fell in love with the idea of the dark side. So let me explain. I have a dark side, and when I finally understood what it was, it allowed me to pivot into what I do right now, which is my life's work. I will do this until I'm dead, and I absolutely love it. It drives me every single day. Growing up, I belonged to a religious group that was one definition shy of a cult, very restrictive, very isolating, and they terrified you about leaving. Their favorite stories were either you're going to die by death from a car crash or cancer. So when you grow up in that and you're young and small, you believe all of that to be true. And I believed it to be true until March 17, which, as of this recording, is coming up very soon, 2008. I was getting on a highway and I was going a little too fast and I didn't see the black ice. My car spun around backwards, went sideways down the embankment. I let go and I thought, okay, this is going to be okay, until my tires exploded. I flipped onto my roof, got crushed against my steering wheel, and was slid across with my face this far from the pavement, going about 60 kilometers an hour. When I finally stopped, facing the wrong way at 6:30 in the morning on a 6-lane highway, my first thought was, they're wrong. I had a car crash and I didn't die. I had been thinking of leaving for some time. And so when that thought kind of sank in, it was time for me to make a drastic change. I completely leveled my life, like nuclear bomb, boof, completely gone. But here's the thing. While I made that giant change, 10 years later, I'm sitting on my couch, got my wonderful new husband, beautiful children, beautiful house, wonderful car, wonderful business. Yet I felt completely dark. And I felt like a weight just sitting on my chest, and I couldn't figure it out. And so this was almost 3 years ago. I went on a quest to figure out what was going on with me. And when I really got down to it, there was a version of me that I never wanted to go back to. That one is feeling helpless, hopeless, poor. Even though I had money in the bank, I felt poor because I always was worried about, where's my next client coming from? Am I going to be able to pay my team? Can I pay myself? Can I help my husband to pay down the mortgage this time? Right? Driven by this massive monetary monster. And I just felt that the work I was doing didn't matter. It didn't make a difference for anybody. And once I isolated those things that I didn't want to have in my life anymore, that became my dark side. And I used it as fuel to say, if that's what I never want to go back to ever again, that feeling and that hopelessness, then what do I have to do in order to create a superpower to build a life completely in the opposite? If you've ever heard me talk, if you ever watch these videos, I'll say I have one major mandate: to help as many people live happier, wealthier, more fulfilled lives. That is a direct correlation to my dark side. So my superpower is driven by the fuel of something I refuse to go back to, and something that I've promised myself, if I can help even just one person never go back again to how they were, then this is a life well lived. So I'm going to ask you, what's your dark side? We often have more than one. I have a health dark side, right? That, again, about three and a half years ago, rather momentous time in my life, sitting on the couch thinking, I've stopped working out. I'm not eating well. I don't feel really good, probably drinking too much wine. And that feeling, again, that helplessness. So at that same time, when I was figuring out my sort of that psychological professional dark side, I established my health dark side too. And now I go to the gym 5 days a week. I've established discipline because I'm driven by the version of myself I never want to go back to. Your dark side is the fuel for your superpower. And if you don't identify it, your day-to-day living, you'll move forward, you will progress. but there'll be less drive, there'll be less passion, there'll be less purpose. A lot of people go through life, they're like, well, I don't really have a purpose. Most often, yes, that may be true, but if I identify the thing you won't go back to, the purpose becomes clear. Dean Graziosi's dark side was a vision of himself at 9 years old, cold, sleeping on the floor of a bathroom in a home his father was renovating. They didn't have a home. They had a little space heater, and that was it. And he swore that that feeling of helplessness, of poverty, of not being able to fix a situation, that he would never go back there. And he's created billion-dollar enterprises being driven by that memory of not wanting to go back there and also wanting to help other people not go back to those kind of situations. So, what's your dark side? Take a minute, really think about it. You're welcome to book a call with me. There's like 18,000 ways of doing it. And so, if you want to talk about it and figure it out, let me know. I've spoken at a conference about this last week, and people came up to me and said, I don't think I have a dark side. And then someone in the elevator is like, I think I have 5. So, it doesn't matter how many you have, articulate it. And if you feel that you're purposeless, if you're not too sure what's guiding your actions, that will probably solve your problem, clarify where you need to go forward, and you can use it to make your life brighter. Okay, so dark side, not the evil kind, the one that you can use to fuel yourself to live a happier, wealthier, more fulfilled life. Go get it.